Hi, I thought I'd just go through a verse and a chorus of this song. It's not in the easiest key if you're unfamiliar to the piano. It's all up on the black keys. I call this G flat major. Some people might call it F sharp major. I'm more of a flat person, personally. And I will be mentioning the chords as I go along. If you're not a chord person, you can just simply look at the notes that I'm playing for reference. I will say that if you're in G flat, this chord here, which you might know as B major, is referred to as C flat. And this chord here, which you might know as E major, is referred to as F flat. That's just the nature of the key signature. So if it seems like the notes seem a little bit funny, it's just, I don't know, I'm a stickler for chord progressions, and it doesn't make sense to me to start in a flat key and then call that B major. Anyway, so your right hand will start here. There's middle C. Your right hand starts with the thumb on the B flat, second finger on the D flat, and the little finger on G flat. So that's a G flat major chord, and we'll be playing that twice. And on the third beat, we'll be moving our thumb down to the A flat, keeping the other fingers the same, and then thumb back to the B flat. Then we'll be moving to this chord, which is a B flat minor chord, with our thumb on B flat, third finger on D flat, and fifth finger on F. Play that twice. Then move your thumb down to A flat, sort of like before, and back to the B flat. So in total. Then we'll be moving here, which is an E flat minor chord, and I've got my thumb on G flat, second finger on B flat, and fourth finger on E flat. Play that twice. Then move to your third finger on the D flat, and then back to the E flat. Then we move back to B flat minor. And for the last beat of the bar this time, I'm going to play the B flat minor chord with my second finger on the B flat, third on the D flat, and fifth finger on the F, because I'm going to play this A flat in passing like this, back to G flat. So I'll just play that bar. Okay, so the left hand, I'm going to start here, playing a fifth with a G flat in the little finger, and the D flat with my second finger, and my thumb will be ready to play that G flat here to alternate with the chords that are playing in the right hand. So if I just slowly put that together, it'll sound like this. Like that. Now we're moving to B flat, if you remember, in the right hand. So in the left hand, I'm going to play the fifth as well, B flat here and an F here. And on the recording, sometimes the left hand alternates with just a single note. Sometimes it alternates, to my ear, with the actual fifth, which gives it a fuller sound. So I might do that here, like this. Like that. Then the left hand goes down to E flat and D, and then ready to alternate with the thumb on the E flat here. To B flat minor now. Remembering that passing A flat, and that takes us back to a G flat where we started. So I'll just play those 4 bars slowly through. Vocal comes in. So the chord progression is similar, but there's a little bit of difference, which I'll show you when we get there. But for the moment, it's very similar to what I just showed you. So let's go up to that point. to the E flat minor chord. So just with the right hand, you can stay on that this time, playing that 4 times, and then having the left hand like this, including that B flat in the middle, the octave E flat, B flat in the middle, and alternating with the E flat in the left hand. The next bar we go to B flat minor. Without going to that A flat, just play it simply like that. Okay, so those 2 bars again. That leads us to an interesting chord, this one here, which is an A flat minor 7. So in its most basic form, it looks like that, with a G flat up the top. But instead of playing the G flat up here, we're going to play it in the bass, and what we're left with in the right hand is the A flat minor root chord. So I'll be playing A flat, this note here, which I know is B, but we call it C flat in this key, and E flat with my little finger. So play that 4 times, and then this time you're going to play it with the octave G flat in the left hand, and then alternating that G flat here. So that will sound like this. Then in the right hand, we're going to play what is essentially a B flat minor chord, like you've played before. We use this fingering 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. Play that twice. And then move your 2nd finger up to this note here, C flat, I call it. And in the left hand, I'm going to play a D flat octave. So if I put that chord together, that's a D flat 6 chord, because the B flat is the 6th note of the D flat major scale, but we just play it in this position. So play this twice in the right hand, and then that twice, which is a D flat 7 chord. So together with the left hand, that will sound like this. Whoops. Okay. So from the bar before, this chord, it's a great chord. And that brings us back to G flat. And we'll essentially keep the same chord patterns. I'll try, although there is some differences in the voicings, I'll try and keep it the same. I will have a sheet music which will show all the details, but I just think for a tutorial, it's a bit much to kind of cope with changing voicings and other little details in the context of a tutorial. So let's go back to the G flat chord. Really interesting. It's sort of like a big dramatic lead up to the chorus with this chord, which I think is a D flat minor 6, but sort of put into a funny position. So what I've got is I've got this note E, also known as F flat in this key, and D flat in my left hand, and my right hand has got the 3rd finger on B flat, 5th finger on D flat, and is playing that E or F flat in with my thumb. So I think probably the easiest thing to do is to play them all together, and then keep your right hand playing, alternating with that D flat in the left hand. So just again. And then it changes to this chord. So in my left hand I've got F flat, C flat, E, and in my right hand I've got C flat and E flat. So you can just play that 4 times in the right hand if it's easier. There is a little bit of action going on in the left hand in the recording, so either you can just do that until we get to the next chord. I'll slowly play the left hand if you want to try and play 2 hands together. And that takes us to B flat major. So I've got in my right hand on the lower F, this middle C, thumb on the F, 3rd finger on B flat, and 5th finger on D. And I'm playing that B flat in the left hand. So just play that 4 times. In my left hand, after I play that B flat, I'm going to alternate that D with the right hand chords like this. And then we have this chord, which is a really great one. It's got the 7th of B flat, but adding in this note here, which is C flat. It's, for chordy people, it's B flat with a flattened 9th. So a straight 7th is that, but it gives it an extra bit of drama. So in my right hand I'm playing A flat in with my 2nd finger. The 3rd finger is on B or C flat, and my 5th finger is on D. And I'm playing that 5th B flat and F in my left hand. So slowly, you can just play that 4 times in your right hand if you like. If you want to add in some left hand as well, what's played I think is this. I'll just go through that those 4 bars again when it starts to get a little bit of drama. Leads us to the chorus, which goes back to G flat major. The right hand roughly follows the vocal line, so I'll just play a couple of bars of that so you can hear it. Okay, so we start off with our thumb B flat, 4th finger on F, and that allows us to play our pinky finger on the G flat, sort of mimicking the vocal line. We hold that B flat across the 3rd beat, and on the 4th beat we play this, which is D flat and G flat to B flat. So 3, 4, and then we move up here. So this is our I mentioned before, C flat major. We're adding the 2nd in here to get that note of interest. It sounds sort of much more, I don't know what it is. It just gives it a lot more colour compared to the straight chord. But so you'll play that with the thumb on B or C flat, 2nd finger on D flat, and 5th finger on G. And for the 3rd and 4th beat, we rock that back and forward. Okay, so there's 2 bars in total. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if I add in the left hand now, we're down on G flat with a little finger on G flat and 2nd finger on the D flat. I'll play it very slowly. There's a little bit more movement in the left hand throughout the chorus. At some stage I might just sort of use octaves rather than jumping up because there is a little bit more arpeggiation. I'll play it slowly. In the 2nd bar there, I'm playing an octave C flat or B and moving up to an octave D flat. And that repeats with a little point of difference in the right hand. So we do this again, and this time we anticipate the fourth beat by playing that twice. And go up to that chord again. So the second time, play the chord, break it, and do straight chord again. So with the left hand slowly. We sort of move into a different direction now. The right hand plays this, playing the D flat this time, and then it does this little motive. So that's B flat. On our way up to E flat, we do a little what do you call it, cacciatura, on the with our third finger on the D flat, and ending up on the fourth finger on the E flat, and back to the B flat. Okay, and then the left hand plays E flat with repeating the thumb down to D flat octave and repeating the thumb. So if I put that together with the right hand, it'll sound like this. The ending of the chorus, we're nearly there, relies a lot on syncopation, and again it tends to follow what the vocal line is doing. Your right hand will start here and will essentially keep that little finger on E flat while the lower part sort of moves. I just have my thumb starting on G flat, and it will sound like this. All I'm doing there is working my way up to these three notes here: G flat, A flat, B flat, and C flat. Just got to think about the fingering that I use. I think I just go 1, 2, 3, and then I move the third finger up there as well. Like that. And your left hand is stuck here, alternating and playing in time with the right hand chord. So if I go back to here, left hand, then your left hand picks up this note here, the C flat, and goes straight back like this. Together. Off the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay, it's a little bit tricky. And then I'll stop and just stay with the right hand. To keep going, I'll just play the last couple of bars, and then we'll go through it. Second verse. So the end part of the right hand of the chorus, we start here, we go up to the A flat, but stay there, back with the thumb, and play that again, and then we're back to G flat major. The left hand stays on the octave. It just, all that matters is when you play the notes. So picking up the when you're playing the G flat, E flat, and then we play D flat. Your left hand will play C flat, G flat, and down to that lower C flat. Very slowly. And there we are. So I hope that gives you some idea of the chord patterns. It's not an easy one, but it's a really interesting one.